I'm going to do a bit of a daily walk around again today. Not sure what sort of resolution. This is a 720p. Trying to make things a little quicker to download. This seems to be kind of a weird lens though. At any rate, what I did today was all the edges are all trimmed. I trim them with the straight edge that's standing up against the wall here, and sliding bar clamps. Clamp the straight edge on, 2 7/16 back from where you want your finished trim edge to be, and then give it a couple of passes with the router, the 1/2 inch 2-flute carbide tipped on a heavy duty Ryobi router, and then the edge is nicely finished straight, produces a nearly invisible joint. If I had a better straight edge, I could actually make an invisible joint. That's after painting, of course. Now, all the joint blocks have been split now, so after they're attached to the track, they will become a double tongue and groove joint. This is what I use to clamp the joints on while I glue them. It's just a simple bit of 1/4 inch MDF. In this case, it was a former decorative panel. And I do the well, I guess it's sort of the tongue side. Anyway, I don't want to go across the gap, is what happens. Don't know why that's doing that. Now I can't see what I'm looking at. But at any rate, it's a very simple way to do it. It's just a screw and a washer and about 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 piece of 1/4 inch MDF. You notice it's not really particularly centered. I just make these by hand. But at any rate, they work really well, because once you're done and the glue's hardened, you just take them out and all you have to fill is a small 1/8 inch hole instead of a whole screw head. I found that using Bondo on these tracks resulted in the Bondo is harder than the MDF, so when you sanded it, you could still see where the screw heads were. So I stopped using screws in the actual tracks, way back in about 1991, I think. And you can see that there's glue oozing out, which is fine. That means I've gotten a pretty good coverage there. And what I'll do is just take my scraper. In this case, it's a drywall hole filler scraper. It's got a screw to tighten up, or a bit to tighten up the screws. And once that gets a little gooey, before it completely hardens, it's really easy to scrape off. And when I'm done scraping it off, I will tape over this part of it, and I'll oil the face and the top of the block, so that if the glue oozes over and it doesn't fall down into the gap and gets onto here, it's not going to stick and make it really hard to get the track apart. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.